Right. In this video, we're going to make a USB that uses Grub to boot. Grub is the Grand Unified Bootloader, and it'll be able to boot into BIOS or UEFI. The advantage of Grub is it has a menu system, so you can do a lot more than just boot to Windows. You can boot to, say, a Linux install, wiping installs, and many other things. So as a start, we're going to take off from an Ubuntu ISO. So download that from Ubuntu, and this I found out uses Grub and boots both BIOS and UEFI as we want, and it's a really good start because you don't have to mess about downloading and installing Grub, which is it's quite a lot of trouble, and you probably want to do it on Linux anyway. This is a purely Windows exercise. So download that, and we're now going to burn it. Well, we're going to burn the ISO onto a USB using a tool called RUFUS. So download that. You can either install it or just copy the exe. I just installed. Excuse me, I just copied the exe. So we start this. Notice it's already found the USB. Now we need to tell it where the ISO is. Okay, well that was easy, there it is. It's told us that it's going to use a master boot record, and that's actually what RUFUS is particularly good at, is writing the first sector of the USB with a master boot record straight off the ISO. It's found it can do it for, well, that master boot record is BIOS, but it can also do UEFI. And persistent partition size. Now this allows you to, as we did before with the Windows USB, have a small FAT32 partition with the MBR, and leave the rest for NTFS to use later. So what we're going to say is the partition size, which is the the unused part of the disk. Okay, so this disk is, it says we could have 24 gigs of it. Well, I'm going to back that down to 23. Yeah, 23. Anything else is the volume label. We're going to change the volume label to Grub. And then start it. Now it's going to destroy all the data. It's going to destroy all the data. Fair enough. But it's going to take a couple of minutes, so I'll pause the video now. Okay, that's it finished. Took about 3 minutes, and you can see that it actually has. It actually is using Grub, which is what we were hoping for. Now let's have a look at the disk. Now the USB. Now. Not going to use diskpart this time because this persistent partition size is sort of non-Windows, and diskpart doesn't like it. Gives you some very unhelpful, well, irrelevant error messages. So the best thing to do is to use Diskmgr. So manage my computer. Okay, Diskmgr. Right, so we have a volume Ubuntu FAT32. There it is. About 5.5 gigs, kind of what we're expecting, and then this remaining healthy primary partition. Now what we want to do is format that and give it a drive letter so we can actually use it. So the only thing it allows you to do is delete volume, and that's what diskpart would have a problem with. So what we can do is delete the volume. Oh, there we go. It's not created by Windows, and therefore, yeah, brutal. So wait for that to unallocate it. And now we're going to format it. Use all of it. Sign a drive letter. I don't know, call it J or something. We're going to use NTFS, a volume label, and this is where we're going to put the Windows sources on it. So, and do a quick format. Okay, I suppose that's right. Finish. Oh, Rufus is still watching it, so I think we'll shut down Rufus. Done with Rufus. Oh yeah, so we now have a J drive. Oops. There's the J drive, nothing on it, and here's the one that Rufus has written the Ubuntu boot. Right, so we're now going to boot that on another machine and see what happens. Okay, so I've plugged the USB into this laptop and I'm just going to boot it legacy. Oops, it's the top one. Legacy. There you go, surprise surprise, it's a Grub menu, version 206, which at the moment is the latest one, and it's going to boot Ubuntu. So now we'll do UEFI. Oh dear. Okay, well, that's kind of typical. For some reason the BIOS in this machine doesn't like UEFI, and so it's not displaying properly. So try again, 1 second. Well, that's a shame. It turns out the BIOS looks like it doesn't like the HDMI interface, so this is a picture of the screen directly, and we'll just boot UEFI. There you go. Standard same menu that we saw last time with the legacy boot. Okay, so in the next video we're going to modify this menu so that it will boot into WinPE. Oh, sorry, it's got a timeout and it's now going to start installing Ubuntu. So it's going to boot into WinPE and we'll be able to install Windows from there. Okay, see you next time.